Welcome back to Firepower. Every year, American hunters argue about the same question: what is the best hunting caliber? The loudest voices usually point to the biggest magnums, the flattest trajectories, or whatever cartridge happens to be trending online. Tradition plays a role. Ego plays a role. Marketing definitely plays a role. But in 2025, something important is changing. More hunters are starting to realize that the caliber they think they should use is not always the caliber that actually works best in the real world. If you could only own one hunting caliber, one rifle to take across states, across seasons, across terrain, woods, plains, mountains, and everything in between, what would honestly make the most sense? That is the question we are answering today. And to do that, we are flipping the list, challenging assumptions, and reordering some of the most popular hunting calibers in America. This is not about which cartridge is the most powerful on paper. It is about which one gives the average hunter the highest chance of a clean, ethical kill when conditions are not perfect. Because most hunts are not perfect. Wind changes, distances are misjudged, adrenaline hits, and recoil matters more than people want to admit. Before we get into the list, we need to set new rules. The best all-around hunting caliber in 2025 must do several things well. It must deliver reliable penetration. It must offer manageable recoil so shooters can stay accurate. It must be effective across realistic distances, not just extreme ones. Ammunition must be available and affordable. And most importantly, it must forgive small mistakes because humans make them. With those rules in mind, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. At number 6 is the .300 Winchester Magnum. There is no denying its power. It is a true magnum with massive energy, excellent penetration, and outstanding performance on elk, moose, and bear. In open country, it can reach distances that many cartridges cannot. On paper, it looks like the perfect do-everything rifle, but here is the problem: recoil. For many hunters, especially those who do not shoot frequently, the .300 Win Mag is simply too much. Heavy recoil leads to flinching. Flinching leads to poor shot placement, and poor shot placement costs animals. Add in expensive ammunition, heavier rifles, and overkill on white-tailed deer, and the .300 Win Mag starts to lose ground as an all-around choice. It is a fantastic cartridge for experienced shooters who need its power, but for most Americans, it is more rifle than they realistically need. At number 5 is the 7mm Remington Magnum. This cartridge earned its reputation as a long-range legend. Flat trajectory, excellent ballistic coefficients, and impressive retained energy make it deadly at distance. In wide-open plains or mountainous terrain, the 7mm Rem Mag shines. However, most deer in America are harvested well inside 300 yards. Under those conditions, the advantages of the 7mm begin to fade. Recoil and muzzle blast are still significant. Ammunition costs are higher. And for hunters who primarily hunt woods or mixed terrain, the long-range advantage simply goes unused. The 7mm Rem Mag is a specialist, excellent at what it does, but not flexible enough to deserve the crown. At number 4 is the .270 Winchester, a caliber that has quietly been doing its job for nearly a century. The .270 offers a flatter trajectory than many traditional cartridges while keeping recoil manageable. It is incredibly effective on deer and antelope, and with proper bullets, it is fully capable of taking elk. What makes the .270 interesting in 2025 is how overlooked it has become. It sits in the middle ground, overshadowed by modern 6.5 cartridges on one side and powerful magnums on the other. But that middle ground is exactly where most hunters live. The .270 is easy to shoot well. It reaches farther than most people need, and it delivers consistent results without punishing the shooter. It may not be exciting, but it is dependable, and that matters. At number 3 is the 30-30 Winchester, and this is where many people start to argue. The 30-30 is often dismissed as outdated, slow, or limited. But let's talk about reality. A massive percentage of American deer are harvested inside 150 yards, often in thick woods. Under those conditions, the 30-30 is devastatingly effective. Lever-action rifles chambered in 30-30 handle quickly. Follow-up shots are fast. Recoil is light, and shot placement is intuitive. The 30-30 does not rely on speed. It relies on momentum and penetration at realistic distances. It has been putting venison in freezers for over 100 years for a reason. While it is not suited for long-range hunting, it excels where most real hunts actually happen. At number 2 is the 308 Winchester, and for many hunters, this is where the list could end. The 308 is one of the most balanced cartridges ever designed. It offers excellent penetration, manageable recoil, and consistent accuracy. It is effective on deer, hogs, and elk within reasonable distances. Ammunition is widely available and relatively affordable, and it performs well in both bolt-action and semi-automatic rifles. The biggest advantage of the 308 is forgiveness. It does not demand perfect shooting form. It does not punish mistakes as harshly as magnums. It allows hunters to stay calm, focused, and accurate under pressure. That is why so many guides, experienced hunters, and professionals trust it. If you could only own one modern hunting rifle, the 308 would be an extremely hard choice to argue against, but there is still one cartridge that edges it out. At number 1 is the 30-06 Springfield. Not because it is the fastest, not because it is the most powerful, but because it does everything well enough, in more situations, for more people than any other hunting caliber in America. The 30-06 offers unmatched versatility. Bullet weights range from light loads suitable for deer to heavy loads capable of penetrating deeply on elk, moose, and even large bears. It performs well in woods and open country. It handles close shots in longer distances, and it does all of this with recoil that most hunters can learn to manage effectively. Another advantage of the 30-06 is availability. In 2025, ammunition shortages still happen, prices fluctuate. But if you walk into a small sporting goods store anywhere in America, chances are they have 30-06 on the shelf. That reliability matters more than people realize. The 30-06 also offers something intangible: confidence. Hunters trust it. Generations have used it successfully. When a shot angle is not perfect, when adrenaline hits, when conditions are poor, the 30-06 provides a margin of error that few other cartridges can match. It is not exciting, it is not trendy, but it works, and that is the real lesson of this list. Choosing a hunting caliber in 2025 is not about chasing hype or impressing strangers online. It is about honesty. Honesty about where you hunt. Honesty about your shooting ability. Honesty about what actually gives you the best chance of a clean, ethical kill. The biggest mistake hunters make is choosing a caliber they want to be good with instead of one they actually shoot well. Recoil management, practice, and familiarity matter more than raw power. A moderate cartridge placed correctly will always outperform a powerful cartridge placed poorly. There is no perfect hunting caliber. Every cartridge on this list has strengths and weaknesses. But for the average American hunter, someone who hunts a mix of terrain, shoots realistic distances, and wants one rifle that can handle almost anything, the answer becomes clear. The 30-06 Springfield is not the best at any single thing, but it is good at everything. And sometimes that is exactly what matters most. Now, It is your turn. If you could only hunt with one caliber for the rest of your life, what would you choose and why? Do you prioritize power, recoil control, availability, or tradition? Let us know in the comments. These discussions help hunters make better choices, and better choices lead to more ethical outcomes in the field. If you want more real-world breakdowns like this, without marketing noise and hype, make sure you are subscribed to Firepower, because the best gear choices are made with experience, not trends. Stay safe, shoot straight, and we will see you in the next one.